Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's March 14th, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Cody Bills. Well, Cody, let's jump into Fire Tip, see how the grains closed out the day here on a Thursday. As we can see, we have corn trading up 6 3/4, soybeans backing off 9 cents, Chicago wheat up 14 1/2, Kansas City wheat picking up 14 3/4. If you guys want live quotes over at your home or office, visit us at grainhedge.com. You can take a no-obligation trial of the platform that you see here on GrainTV. But Cody, kind of break down the action for us here. Once again, we had wheat picking up some pretty darn good ground, up 14 1/2 cents on the Chicago contract. It really seemed like fundamentally this export sales report helped things out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they did great in the old crop sales. They booked 888,000 metric tons for old crop. New crop, they didn't do so well, only booking about 198,000 metric tons. You know, this was kind of the same theme here for soybeans. Soybeans had great old crop sales. New crop was really where the weakness was. And I guess I look at it and I think, you know, we got the planting intentions report coming down the line, and that's going to most likely point to a massive crop with massive carryout. I'm wondering how eager buyers are out there to lock in these new crop prices before that report. Also for corn, you know, we had pretty good sales for old and new crop, coming in with 282,000 metric tons of old crop sales, new crop sales booking about 371,000.
Yeah, certainly. Well, right now, as you said, it really seems like a lot of end users are kind of have a wait and see mentality on this upcoming 13-14 crop. Certainly from the USDA Outlook Forum we had a couple weeks ago, all expectations are for a very large corn and soybean crop to be put in, and the USDA right now is projecting 2 billion bushel carryout for next year's crop. So certainly weighing on things there. But in terms of export sales and kind of the pace that where we are at right now in the marketing year, can you kind of break down where we are?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, corn is still behind pace, even taking into account the last WASDE report revision here for export sales. Right now, we're about 24 million bushels behind pace. This week, you can see here the bar right there, the bar furthest to the right. That's this week's bar, and you can notice that it came in just shy of that red line, which is the pace needed to meet USDA expectations. So we slid a little bit, sliding about 2 million bushels this week. As for soybeans, we actually are ahead of pace, 124 million bushels, and those old crop sales are well ahead of what we need to meet this USDA expectations. And this is incredible to me. You know, with Brazil online, 50% harvested, beating the U.S. out, and right now we continue to have great old crop sales, and we actually picked up the pace another 6.5 million bushels. So we're now ahead 124 million bushels compared to the USDA's forecast.
Yeah, Cody, if we jump back into Fire Tip here, I know before the show you and I were having a little bit of a discussion here on this May daily chart right now. Certainly some very important fundamental developments here just in the last couple days. And today was kind of an interesting trade day. You know, we saw soybeans really pressured to the downside early on. We certainly saw some buyers come in, though, late. That last 5-minute bar was pretty darn strong. We saw a lot of buying interest in this market. Can you kind of break down, you know, in light of the numbers that we saw today, good sales there, what's kind of your outlook on this May contract right now? I know, talking to producers out there, a lot of guys are looking at maybe getting rid of the last 12, 13 beans that they're holding on to right now.
Yeah, you know, up around that $15 price level, we definitely had resistance. And you know, we had talked about this a while back, is that, you know, we just don't see any reason to be able to rally over that $15 level, especially with South America harvesting one of the largest crops they've ever grown down there.
Right.
Now, the only difference here is that they're having some logistical problems getting it out to the market, and that's kicking sales back over to us. But the bottom line here is that we are selling off. They are starting to catch up. China hasn't been in the market. Sure, we had good old crop sales this week, but and I think mostly the buying that we saw at the close here was technical. If you take a look at the daily chart here, you know, this is a daily candlestick chart. Each bar is representing 1 day of price activity. The furthest one to the right here, you'll notice that we actually rallied off of our lows here. There's a 200-day moving average, there's a 100-day moving average, and there's a short-term trend line down around that 1438 price level. And I think that helped lift us up. I wouldn't be surprised going into Friday, a day before the weekend, that we see a little bit of short covering after this 3 days of selling that we've been observing. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a rally, or at least some price gains tomorrow. I think we should use that as a potential opportunity to price whatever remaining old crop soybeans you have.
Certainly. We'll kind of driving the trade tomorrow morning. We are going to be getting the monthly NOPA crush numbers out tomorrow. If we just look at expectations for that report, the average trade guess is looking for 141.6 million bushels of soybeans reported crushed during the month of February. That's backing off a bit from the January crush, but certainly still at this time of year, we expect the crush to be backing off a little bit as we move away from harvest. And year over year, the crush has still been very strong here. Seems like that's one thing that's been supporting the bean market in general. So bottom line, trade expectations, 141.6 million bushels going to crush during the month of February. We'll be tweeting about that report when it comes out tomorrow morning, and certainly breaking down the numbers tomorrow afternoon once again here on GrainTV. But in general, guys, I think that kind of wraps up what we saw here in the grain market for a Thursday. Certainly, thanks a lot for joining us here on GrainTV. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for the NOPA Crush Report.